I got out of the Army, and then I was a corporate sales guy for a medical implant company. And so I was like, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was just like, I need to get my cash flow to equal my monthly expenses, and I'll be financially free. So you can imagine my disappointment when I showed up here with 100 houses and I wasn't financially free. I got financially pretty feeling safe, and I thought I was an entrepreneur and I had achieved financial freedom, and then I went to Wake Up Warrior and realized I was just a two-dimensional douchebag. All I would do was focus on my business, and I was like, oh, I lift weights for an hour and a half a day, like my life's great. And to my wife, I was like, look, here's the money, like, where's my dinner? We're gonna hook up tonight, and you're just gonna like it. And I got 4 kids I wasn't showing up for. And so I used to think of my wife and children as like a drag on my business, but now like those are the 5 people that give me the fire in my business to wake up. And then I got so high on this Wake Up Warrior thing that I brought a warrior coach in to give it to our whole team, and that has transferred our entire team, taking out all politicking, taking out all office drama. And that is because the first rule of the Warrior's Way is to stop lying and start telling the truth. I was lying to myself about my business. I could raise money, but I could do nothing else. And I was almost not hiring a bookkeeper, not hiring an accountant, so I could keep my illusion going. So the thing about the Warrior's Way is there's a core, the code, and the stack. The main thing that's helped me personally is to stop lying. And I went to West Point. I lived under an honor code. No one thinks I'm a liar. It was most important to me lying to myself and bullshitting myself. If you deny any part of your body, any part of your balance, any part of your being, your spirituality, your balance is your family, and any part of your business, like one of those 4 table legs, if you're not doing it, it is going to take you down. So every morning I wake up at 5 and I hop right out of bed and I meditate, because as a businessman and as our business is taking up, like neurologically, like it's just different. I'm not saying I'm a teetotaler, I still drink, but I used to sedate with alcohol, and like neurologically, like I can notice like my shoulders drop. I've had to use meditation to be able to just fucking relax some days. And then fuel, every morning I hit a green smoothie. Me and my kids make it together. They love it. We all take little green dumps. Like the green smoothie's like a bonding with me and my kids. And then I write in my journal. It's the Warrior Journal's called a stack. And then I take my kids to school, and then I'm out the door to the gym because I'm still a meathead. Oh, and after I meditate, and this has been the biggest thing of this, getting these 4 points every day. Corey and Kahuna, last June, him and his wife presented on this love journal, where you get a journal and you and your wife write to each other every morning. I get half a point for writing a note to my wife every morning. She writes to me, and then I get another half point. I'm basically writing a book for each of my kids every morning. I write in 5 journals every morning, and it's Maria, Bubba, Tommy, and Johnny, and I call it like the Bubba book. Hey, dude, I'm writing you a book. And then they color back to me, and I love it. I can't get enough of the kids writing back to me. I have an EOS and a Warrior Story together. So we had our integrator meeting, and I paid for the guy's hotel room, and I forgot to tell my wife. So my wife gets the credit card bill and sees a goddamn hotel room. And so I'm like 90 days into this Warrior thing, and she's, that son of a bitch, like he's cheating on me. She calmed down, and he'd have to be a real bastard to be writing love notes to me every morning and then be cheating on me at night. These daily deposits to your wife and kids, it has gotten me out of a jam. And then while I'm lifting, I'm generally listening to podcasts, generally a lot of podcasts of people in this room, in this group. So I'm discovering new things about my business. Getting out of the military, what I really missed was having like an honor code and something to live by. Other people who were living by the same code that I could trust. And so when I saw this with Warrior, I'm like, first I thought they were a bunch of Sallies. I'm like, they're trying to run boot camps. They've never been through it. This is bullshit. But the code, and I'll say this, before I saw this, I really couldn't speak about my military service or my military time. There was a bunch of stories, and I went to Iraq twice and Afghanistan once. And so I was struggling with a lot of those feelings and memories. Part of the reason I was turned off to my family, it was just like I had created such a protection mechanism around me to feel anything that I could use humor and I could use anger, but anything else was off the feeling spectrum. Emotionally, neurologically, that definitely affected me, and I was like, no, bullshit, I wasn't affected by the war at all. Like, I had such a protection mechanism around it. It was a huge thing for me to just admit, one, that I had feelings, and that absolutely affected me with my wife, it absolutely affected me with my kids, and it affected me as a leader in my business, because I could either be really angry at all my employees, or I could be the goddamn clown in the office. But I couldn't be like, I care about you. We are all going to succeed together. I had never thought about the fact that my feelings could create the fire, create the energy. And then it was my choice on where I focus those feelings. So that was a huge revelation for me. So the stack, I wake up every morning and I do this. If something happens to me between the time I spend time with my kids and time with my wife and I feel great about my life, and then I go to sleep and I wake up feeling absolutely petrified and like garbage. And so generally it's because of some kind of story. So my stack this morning was, I don't want to give up and get this presentation and talk about my feelings. Like my story was, I don't need to do this shit. I don't need to come to CG. I don't need to build my business. And so all that was fear and anxiety created a bullshit story in my head. And then stories create drifts. I could have just stayed in the hotel room and quit. I could have not got on the plane. This is the summed up version of the stack, but you got to walk the block. First, I got to ask myself, is this story true? Is this story true that I'm so goddamn baller that I don't need to present at CG? No. And so what is the me version? The me version is that I'm nervous and angry, scared about being vulnerable in a group of my peers and a bunch of peers that I genuinely respect. And then you can get all this online at wakeupwarrior.com. And so what's the opposite of this story? The opposite story is that I need to show up here, be real and raw, and get the new tips and tricks to take my business to the next level. Just like when I showed up here 18 months ago, I got professionally embarrassed, but got driven to create a new business. And then my desired version is I want to show up, I want to present, I want to network, and I want to have fun and learn with everybody here. So I chose the desired version of that story. And so my revelation this morning was that I need to keep expanding, I need to keep working my ass off, and I need to keep learning to become the businessman and the dad and the person that I want to be. So we have our office doing daily stacks, and it's basically we're just trying to kill stories. If some clear bullshit comes up in our office, me and Steve we don't have a breakdown 20-minute conversation. We're like, stack it, come back here, tell us what you learned, and we'll talk about it.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you make over $300K per year, I think my program could be great for you. We're gonna find beat up houses, like this one behind me that we just started rehab at. I don't know if the video's doing justice to how bad these floors is. And then let me take you through a spin here. This is the kitchen. Don't notice there is no kitchen. But our investors love deals like this because they know in 3 weeks, this is going to be a beautiful kitchen waiting for either a new homeowner or a new resident to rent. So if you're interested in investing in real estate in a completely passive manner and want someone to find the house, to fix the house, to find a tenant, or help you sell it, click the link below to book a call.